What's up? Shit, wrong chord. Good morning. It's currently the morning right now in Korea, but I'm just practicing for the Mexico show because we don't really have too much time to practice, so I've been rehearsing like on and off. While the air keeps me at a distance, I try to get more near. Hold on to this moment. Still haven't figured that out, but what's up? Hello everybody. I know it's pretty late in some countries, and I know it's pretty early in others, but I'm gonna be performing in Mexico, Monterrey. Te amo. Good luck with the soccer and the World Cup, Korea and Mexico. I love both of them, so can't wait. It's going to be amazing, but more importantly, I can't wait to see all my Mexican dreamers. 머리 색깔 예뻐요. 감사합니다. I can't wait to see my Mexican dreamers, and I also cannot wait to see my Indonesian dreamers because I'm going to Indonesia very soon, and it's going to be amazing because I get to finally see you guys, and Korea was fun. Korea was really fun. But yeah, so it's gonna be really fun. I can't wait to eat some food from all these countries that I'm visiting, and it's gonna be like good times again. I promise. I'm gonna be performing quite a few new things, I think, and yeah, Monterrey is gonna be really, really fun, and Jakarta is going to be so much fun, Shout outs to Alchemist and stuff like that, because we're gonna have a good time there. So I cannot wait to see everybody. I've been okay, guys, and to be fair, it's been It's been quite the adventure. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've been going through so many things in the last year, so many experiences and so many fucking, I don't know, so much shit that I've been going through that I think it's been like topping me up until the very point where I was about to break, and I did. And can you sing the show? I will sing the show. I will sing the show, and I'm gonna be singing the show in the upcoming cities, hopefully. But yeah, anyway, I've been pretty good. Call it godsend, but I've been catching up with a lot of old friends, and I've been catching up with a lot of myself. You know, the last life, I know a lot of people had. A lot of people are worried, and a lot of people took a lot of things to heart. So, you know, I do apologize for scaring a lot of people. But I didn't mean to, and I have needed to go through my own transformative experience, and I'll be honest, it's made me realize a lot of things. And not just that, but I think the fans, like all of the messages I've been getting from you guys, have really put a lot of things into perspective once again. Yes, it's hard to describe, but it's like I didn't know I meant that much to so many people. Like, I know that might sound like, I mean, I know sometimes some people might not believe what I say when I say this, but I really do. Because I think I was too much in my own shell. Like, I feel like I've been sitting in my own shell, and, you know, like for the last 4 years, I have not really been able to get over certain things regarding Jesus Christ. I feel like this. So I bought this new stand. Sorry guys, sorry to be off topic, but I bought this new mic. Bought this new mic phone stand that you could put your fucking phone on, and it's not been really nice to me because it's I don't know why it does this fucking hell. Anyway, so yeah, I've just been, I'd say I've just been pretty busy, trying to understand a lot of things and, you know, put a lot of things in the past behind and all of that shit. But yeah, for the most part, I have been getting good at that, and I think a lot of the fans' messages really have helped me quite a bit. And, you know, like, it wasn't a lot of these decisions that I was making that were, like, coming at an easy cost. And, you know, it was very much, yeah, I don't know why. It's very much from a place where I feel like I needed to come from and I needed to stay. But, you know what? Like, I did have like this whole epiphany, and I went through this whole, ever since my last live, I was visited by like my friend. I was visited by very, very like special people that needed to come into my life for me to snap out of the shit that I needed to snap out of. And I honestly will get into details later about that, but I just want to say it really has transformed my perspective on a lot of things. And it's not like something that you can make like an easy decision on and you can just switch your mind and be like, oh yeah, we'll fucking do it again and stuff like that. It's not like that. It really did come at a heavy cost for me. So with that being said, it really did help me understand what I needed to do going forward. Now, keeping that in mind, you know, I did mention I was going to scrap the album and stuff like that, but I don't think, after a long talk and after, like I said, I can't, there's things I can't really describe to you of like what happened during the process from the last live and the moments before that too. But all I can really say is I'm not going to. What about like this fucking stand thing? Sorry, this stand I'm sure has to have a counterbalance to something. I just don't know how to use it. Sorry so much. Maybe I'm plugging it wrong. Anyway, so I needed a little bit of time. I need a little bit of time to reflect. I need a little bit of time to heal. But I'm not gonna I don't think I'll be scrapping the album or anything, because I think yes, I was convinced enough to not by somebody. But anyway, hey, I'll get into detail about that later, but I just wanted to say I'm in a position where I feel like I don't have a choice in certain things. And I know you'd be like, oh, but you always have a choice. I mean, I'm sure you do. Right. But, the thing is, if you're in the position that I'm in, it's like, there's a lot of things that get to the bottleneck of a lot of things. But long story short, I don't think I'll be scrapping the album, and I'm gonna take it as I'm gonna go step forward into. I'm gonna really start stepping forward into doing something more for myself. And I know it's like, man, why don't you say that to yourself and stuff? But I'm telling you, it really does come it came at such a cost with that decision that I had made prior. So the last week has been it has been an intervention. So it's been, I don't know, it's really hard to describe. All I can say is it's God's will. And if I hadn't believed that everything was happening for a reason, and this really is God's will and God's message, then I wouldn't have done anything. I wouldn't have got back up. But call it fate, or call it some type of blessing or message or some sign. I think for me, it has, when you hold on to something and you don't even know why you're holding on to it. And only God knows why you're holding on to it, but you have no idea why you're holding on to it. You're down to the last straw, and you're pretty much beat to the ground, and you really have no will, and you really have no power anymore. So, for me, I feel like I've been constantly in the rut where I was tempted, and all these temptations of evil just telling me to give up and end it all. I've had this happen to me so many times that I felt like this time I was clinging onto hope, but I didn't know when it was going to come or if it was ever going to come. And it's one thing to really be able to focus on your mental health, but it's another to have already somewhat go to a point where you've given up and then try to get help. It's a tough fate. But I just wanted to say, long story short, something happened, call it an intervention or call it God's will, but I think I was visited by an angel, and it had put everything into perspective, the team, what I was doing, DPR, the dreamers. It has put so much into perspective of why I had to hold on to as long as I had to, and why it was important for me to keep going. Whereas before, like it was something that I just thought was pinning me down, and it was really taking the life out of me. So I really had to rebuke it. But I've now learned, and I've always learned, that there is a reason why you have to keep holding on. Even if it doesn't make any sense, even if there's no rationality, even if your body's like, fuck it, just end it, yo. Even if it says that, like, there is a good reason why you are holding on the way you are. And, like, time and time I'm proven that exists, and I'm proven that is faith, and I'm proven that's real. So, like, all of the messages that I think everyone has sent me has helped me quite a lot, if not has really pushed me out of the dark. Don't think you guys have never ever done anything. You guys pretty much saved me. So with an open mind and with a very clear goal, I am going to keep going as far as I could. And listen, I know people will say, just take care of yourself, and hey, listen, no rush. I'm not going to rush it. Like, there's a lot of things that I have to change systematically for me to be able to even go forward. But I want to say, it's not, like, I don't want to end it on this note. I don't think a lot of people understand, but fuck it. But when I said I was going to just wrap up everything, I meant like everything. So yeah, call it a sign. And there's things that I cannot describe to you on what happened, but I just wanted to say that for whatever reason, I'm extremely grateful, and I'm extremely happy that God sent a messenger. So I support whatever you guys support. If you support me, I support you. But I just wanted to say, like, it's going back to what I say, why I wanted to do this. For me, it was always never about getting to a certain top spot or a position. People do things because they want massive success, and those massive success equates to the only knowledgeable things that they know it equates to, which is like the status and the financial. I don't really care too much about that. I realized, like, my head was so much never in that position that I always thought I was not suitable for this type of career or this job. But I've realized, fuck it, like, why do I have to conform to that shit? Why does it have to break me in a way where people have all these expectations, and I can't match that because it's just not who I am. But I can do it for the people that need it. Like, wouldn't that be my purpose of doing so? So for me, I just thought, man, how selfish was I to think that I was going to give this up to a certain extent because I thought the people that I had to conform to were taking control over it. And the people that really did show support had to see things crumble, and no matter how much they showed support. And, like, just rightfully so, I don't think that's fair to the dreamers. I don't. And, I do appreciate that everyone wants me to put me first, and I will, I promise. But putting me first also means putting my values first. And my values are have never changed. And what I want to do for Dprian, what I want to do for people will always will always stand. I think I was disappointed that it was wavering because of certain situations that are real. But if you know me, love, you know, like, I hate giving up. And if you know me, I hate giving up because it was not my own decision, and because it was like, it felt like it was forced. And I hate the idea that somebody and some things can change you like that. So listen, whatever you do, yes, protect your peace, right? But if you are giving up your peace to protect it, that's really not protecting your peace. That's really more like giving up, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm gonna take a bit of a break, obviously, but I am not going to end everything just because, a lot of people might have got variants prior to that. I don't know how to describe it. I just think there's a lot of things that God put in front of me to have reinstate my mindset of going forward. And a big part of it was you guys. Like, a huge part of it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. So going down this path and being able to see you guys, I think it's gonna be much more than it should ever be. It's gonna be different. It's going to be a lot more pronounced. And and I'm going to complete this shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care how hard this is, but I'm gonna complete what I need to complete. And I'm gonna finish my story, and I'm gonna make sure I give it to everybody, and then I'll maybe opt out. But until then, I think I have to keep going. I just have to keep doing this. It feels right. And yeah, I don't know. After the last week, I have a lot more faith. I have a lot more faith. And I'm going to go see my Indonesian dreamers soon. I'm going to see my Mexican dreamers soon. I'm going to but it's not going to stop there. It's not going to stop there. I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep doing stuff. I just don't want to set an example, ladies and gentlemen. I do not want to set an example of this guy has, sure, a lot of mental issues and whatnot. But if I don't show people that I can overcome it, if I don't show people that the byproduct of all of it is, at the end of the day, self-control and overcoming it, regardless of the environmental impact, and regardless of anything, people, whatever that's around you. I don't know. I don't want to be sending that message of hey, you did it. You tried. You tried. There will be so many ups and downs. There's going to be so many ups and downs in life. There's going to be so many moments where you think, I've always said this, but there's going to be so many moments where you think, it's just not going to work out. It just isn't. And sometimes it doesn't. But the silver lining in it should never be ignored. The silver lining in any of it should never be ignored. So, I've held on because I've always thought there would be a silver lining in everything. And, my mum told me that, it's a matter of perspective, really. But yeah, hard to be positive all the time. But at the end of the day, as long as it's, it pushed you to a position where you have to go to. So I don't want people to feel like the end is the end, right? It's just the beginning of something more beautiful. You know, it's really up for debate sometimes, but it's also a matter of perspective. But yeah, that is long story short, kind of the news I had, and I wanted to give you guys my all, but I felt like my all wasn't up to this point. So I felt like it wasn't fair to give up on myself. And, you know, like I again, you know, the day that I finished that live, you know, I guess I got a message from somebody. And, you know, I call it God sent. Got a message from somebody, and, you know, he came over and, you know, visited me, and, you know, for pretty much the next like 7, 8, 9 hours, it was just a matter of opening my eyes up a little bit to and helping me understand a lot of these things. So yeah, I really do owe a lot to this guy. You know, maybe I'll tell you who it is one day. But yeah, just want to say that meant a lot to me. Yeah. And yeah, and you know, I've had a lot of people come through, you know. I got a chance to meet Tonga yesterday, which was great. You know, it's always a pleasure to meet this guy. You know, he you know, despite his busy schedule and everything, he wanted to come see me and say hi. And, you know, I took that, I was so grateful for that, because you know, I'm about to leave Korea, and, you know, being able to see him in Korea was something that I've always wanted to do. And so we caught up a little bit, and, you know, he definitely, yeah, he was ecstatic about the. I let him listen to the album. By the way, I let him listen to. I let someone listen to the album. Not all of it, but maybe like 7, 8 songs. And you know, it's even stuff like that where he was like, "Yo, like this needs to come out. Like the world needs to hear this, Young." And yeah, I don't know. Just moments like that sometimes is probably what some people just need. You know, I think we're too much, we're just sometimes, our artists are just too much in their own heads. And, you know, like we always say, we always need a hype man, right? But, you know, it's, I could see how so many people can get lost in their own heads. And I could see how so many people could just lose themselves because of the pressure and the absurd amount of expectations that they have for themselves that's never going to be met in their minds, what they think. But take it slow. Take it a step at a time. But also realize that there are signs in the world that will appear, because there are good things in the world that want you to keep going. There are the good, there are the evil, but there is the good that always would want you to keep fighting. And if you look for those signs, and if you look hard enough, I promise you that you'll get through anything. And I promise you, you will find a way to look and open your eyes to people that are supporting you. Te amo my Spanish speaking dreamers. But long story short, yeah, I love you. I love you so much. And I wanted to say I love you guys to the point where, you know, like, I feel like you've hindsight, man, like if you think about it, you guys really did save me. Yeah. Like, it's not something that, you know, it's easily talked about, but I will say that, you know, like it was, yeah, a difficult moment for sure. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you guys have quite literally pulled me out. And obviously I owe it to the people that came to my aid. So I got to make it worth it now, you know? I have to now make it worth it. Once I make this decision, which I have, I'm going to make sure that this is worth it for me and for you. 우리 한국 팬분들 저희 아이코스 때 이렇게 와주셔가지고, 그리고 항상 저를 이렇게 응원해주시고, 저희 한국 많이 자주 못 오고 하는 건 아는데 그래도 올 때마다 이렇게 어떻게든 응원해주려고, 그리고 아이코스 때도 그런 말씀을 해주시고 저를 그냥 얘기만 들어주는 것만 해도 되게 저한테는 되게 힘이 됐습니다. 네, 진짜 많이 힘들었는데, 그리고 진짜 여러분들도 많이 힘들 텐데, 그죠? 많이 힘들 텐데 참느라 진짜 고생했어요. 진짜 너무 고생했어요. So anyway, yeah. With that being said, I might go into a little bit more detail later in the future about what really happened, for me to really open my eyes up and continue. I really do owe it to a lot of people, but you know, certain people in particular that I think is God sent, that I think had an angel. Yeah. So I think it's God sent. Promise I wasn't gonna like get too emotional over this, but try my best. But yeah, I just want to say, man, you guys are not alone. You know, there are people in this world that are there for you, are gonna be there for you. And it sometimes comes in the form of things that you probably will not have any idea that it comes in. As long as you're willing and as long as you're wanting to push forward, I think that's all that matters. Sometimes you need a bit of a push, but it might not come from the most expected things. That's all. With that being said, you know, let's just have fun. Stop thinking too much. Everything will be okay. I promise. Everything will be okay. Hey, if it gets flustering, if it gets too hard, you know, just look down and see one thing at a time, and then just keep going. Well, you know, bit by bit. It's not bad, No. There are, yes, that is true. There are more with us and there are more against us. You just have to be willing to see it. And, you know, like, sometimes we try to ask for help, but the help that we need sometimes is not the help that's given to us just very blatantly in our face. The help that we need sometimes is to be able to see if we can help ourselves. And I think that power and that strength is divine. It's being able to see that you have the strength in me and you have the strength through asking for help, sure. But it's not what I've realized, it doesn't really come to you like in the form of like what you think it is. So when you feel like that isn't what you wanted and you feel like that's like working against you, try not to be too angry. Try not to be too mad, because there are signs and there are always moments where things are going to try helping you. But I would say it's evil at work if you feel like you're changing and you're detesting things because it's not, because you aren't receiving the help that you think you need. It's much bigger than that. It's much more bigger than you. And that's fine. It's absolutely fine, because that's the connection that we crave. Yeah, so that is kind of these realizations I guess I'm having. I like to just tell what I think, right? Like for a lot of the fans that are new here, for a lot of the people that are just, sometimes stumbling upon me, I'm somebody that just loves making shit, and I'm somebody that loves connecting. I love building, but I love building authentically, and I feel like everything has a purpose. So sometimes it's really not up to me, and it's more of a message. And I think clearly in this world, everything's divided. We have the good and the bad. There's really no in between. And we are constantly being tested by both sides. And at the end of it all, you understand that true strength comes from the good. And that's why it's harder. Like, listen, that's why it's much more harder. But if you just acknowledge it, right? If you just acknowledge it, that there are things in the world that are trying to be good for you, and that comes at a price. The price doesn't really have to be all that scary sometimes. It really is more of a reflective moment sometimes. And all you have to do is look within and not be afraid to open. And yeah. Yeah. Some people say, am I watching the South Korean Mexico match? Hey, I don't think I can watch that, because I think I'll be like on the plane. So Colombia. I want to go to Colombia so bad. You don't understand. I want to go to Colombia so bad. But anyway. Hey, the closer you get to something real, the closer you get to something, the closer you get to something real, the closer something is coming to take it away from you. I kind of butchered that, but you know what I mean. So it's just how like I've been really feeling a lot. So it's like the closer I guess you get to faith, I guess the closer you're gonna be tested. And that is a much more, it's a given, right? It's really much a given. But everything is a lot better. Anyway, I can't wait to see you guys. I can't wait to see my Indonesian dreamers. Korea, you've been so kind. 한국 진짜 너무 보고 싶어요 벌써. And obviously Mexico, we're gonna have an amazing time there. Get ready to just go crazy, guys. Monterey, come on, baby. Can't wait. Anyway, I love you all so much. That's my word. And yeah, I'm gonna come on live a lot more, and I'm gonna be a lot more active, and I wanna, this new journey that I wanna take, this new beginning, it also requires me to talk to you guys a lot more. You know, hi Sayang, I'll see you very soon. And you know, listen, dreamers, it's not the end yet. You know, like I feel like this is just preaching. But let's really build this. I need your support. I need you guys. And I know you guys need me. So let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Love you all. Bye. Te amo. 사랑해요. 갈게요.